My name is Divij. I'm a banker in Singapore. I wanted to share with you about a crippling fear that I had that lasted me almost 18 years of my life, had a lot of effect on the quality of life I was leading before that, and then how it has been completely transformed. For about 18 years, I was suffering from a very big water phobia, mainly in terms of getting into water like a swimming pool, a lake, a stream, or the sea. Uh, and the the fear was so crippling that even when we'd go on beach holidays, I couldn't even get more than ankle deep into the water. And I'm 6'4", and I'm standing 6 inches in water and not able to take a further step forward. It's embarrassing. It was humiliating. But for me, it was it was a gut wrenching fear that just didn't allow me to take a further step. I have that deep sense of fear that if I go any further, something's going to happen to me. And with a family and young children who want to go on a beach holiday, the fact that I have to stay on the beach in dry land is not something I enjoyed at all. Even growing up towards my teen years, I just felt that I always struggled trying to go into the swimming pool. If I had to go in, it would be completely forced. I would be absolutely terrified, and it would be the most stressful 5, 10, 15 minutes, that I could possibly go through. It was torture to see. I'd gone to Pankaj. During that time, Pankaj shared with me about the Pankaj method, and I was able to use the Pankaj method to try and tackle this fear of mine. And I worked on myself just 1 hour of the Pankaj method to tackle this crippling fear that has been with me for over 18 years. Those of you who have fears or phobias know that it might seem small to everyone else around you, but when you're in the middle of it, it can be extremely daunting. It can be extremely awkward. It can be a very difficult situation for you to try and deal with if you're forced into that situation. And after I was able to use the Pankaj method to work on this fear, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, because in an instant, I just felt that I do not have fear anymore. And I tested out this hypothesis by going down straight to my pool, getting in the water, and I was able to swim some laps. I had no issue. That whole sense of me being either completely crunched up and just wanting to swim by the side, just so I could hop out of the water in case of an emergency. I had none of that. I was able to swim freely for the first time in 18 years. And I remember very, very shortly thereafter, we were going on a family holiday to Thailand. And we had taken a boat out to one of those islands where they have a cave, and the boat stops about 50, 60 meters away from the shore. You're supposed to hop in, swim in the sea, or in the open sea, to the cave, swim through the cave, which at one point gets completely dark, and on the other side there's a beach. I know the whole thought of this, when I had my phobia, I would not have even got on the boat. But here I was, with the family, with both my kids, with my wife, and I was the first one to jump into the water. And not only that, I was comfortable enough also to swim with my 1-year-old son at the time. So I was able to take him into the water, and I'd moved from a space of being so fearful to being in complete trust. And we were able to swim that 50, 60 meters up into the cave entrance and swim through the dark cave before we emerged on the other side on the other beach. This is something, if anyone had told me this before I had worked on this fear, I would have said this is a work of fiction, because there's simply no way I would have done it. I mentioned to you already, I would not go more than 6 inches on a beach into the sea. And to now be a person who's a responsible parent, being comfortable to take a 1-year-old child and still swim in the sea, that's life changing. I swim with my boys every week. We spend hours in the pool on the weekend. They're like fish. I'm I'm half the time just swimming with them underwater, and I wouldn't have been able to do these things had I not been able to work on that fear, which I learned completely from the Pankaj method. So again, thank you.